Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Comic Crack, and here I am back from another comic convention. Today was our flea market comic convention, basically. So I don't have the, oh, here we go. Yeah, this is it right here. There you go. So this was the convention that I was at today, trying to hawk my comics. This particular time, I didn't bring all the stuff that I have sold before. I didn't bring any of it. Decided to kind of bring all new stuff that I previously haven't had for sale, which included books from my brother's collection, Amazing Spider-Man mostly. I brought every single one. I finally made it through kind of pricing all of his Amazing Spider-Man. I think I had some Guardians of the Galaxy of his too. That was pretty much it. And then there was some stuff from the other collections that I have. One of them that I bought from Blake, and one of them that I bought off Kijiji here in town. Just to kind of have new stock, and I kind of had high hopes that the stuff that I was going to bring would be a little more popular than the previous books that I had. We had one of the things that both of us have are kind of newer books that we've always tried to sell in graphic novels. And I mean, with some varying degrees of success. But this time I figured I'd try to bring older books in hopes of kind of attracting more people to look through the boxes of stuff. We had more people come through to some degree. Lots of people commented, and lots of people looked through the boxes and looked at the Amazing Spider-Man stuff, but very, very few people bought everything. And that was kind of a couple of different reasons. The main reason being that this comic convention is really, really, really quiet. I'm not sure exactly why that was. It was cold out today, but it wasn't, it wasn't kind of frostbite weather. And it did run from 10 until 5 p.m. So we were hoping that we'd get kind of every once in a while, any minute now, it's all of a sudden going to be the before lunch crowd, and any minute now, it's going to be the after lunch crowd. And usually at the beginning of the convention is when you get the most people. Even at the beginning of this convention, there was not that many people. I mean, previous ones that we've worked, the aisles have been packed, but this one was a really, really poor showing. There was a lot of vendors. He sold out all the tables, and he had some people set up in the hallway, but there just wasn't a lot of traffic. And yeah, I mean, there just wasn't. I don't know what else to say about that. It was a little disappointing. I was really, I don't know, I was just excited about doing the convention. I mean, we still had fun anyway. I still ended up buying books, still ended up talking to a lot of dealers, met a couple of people, including one and only Nerdy Vision was there today, which was great to finally meet him face to face. And I realized, talking to him, it's like I've talked to him before. I've met him before at Galaxy Comics. We'd chatted upstairs. Super nice guy. I just didn't, I guess the couple of videos that I've seen of his, I was still, I think he was behind the camera in some of the stuff I had seen. Comic Book Aesthete. Hello, how are you? This is hardly convention season. I think people are still trying to recover from all of the holiday spending. And that's kind of what we were thinking too, that it's like the other reason is it is January 29th. Chances are people are starting to get all their Christmas bills in from the credit card spending. So that absolutely plays a big part in it. Some of the other vendors had a feeling that maybe he didn't promote it as well as he has in the past. I don't know. I saw the same kind of promotion that I saw before. The comic shops that I've gone to, they had the kind of little flyer thing that I just showed. Apparently Galaxy Comics had a poster, but I think some people thought maybe he didn't promote it as well as he could have. I don't really know how else to promote a comic show except for getting the comic book shops having your advertisements. I mean, one of the shops cover to cover, he was there with tables. So, I mean, that would have been his store, telling people in his store. One of the guys that works from Galaxy, he has a side business where he sells video games. He was there. So that would be him telling people in his store. I don't really know what else you could do. But I do think that's a huge point that people are kind of a little kind of tapped out as far as that goes. So maybe it wasn't the best time to do a little mini convention. Comic Brains agreed, still recovering. Yeah, and I mean, it totally makes sense. So it hasn't deterred us from doing it by any stretch. We're still going to do the next one. It's just too cheap for the both of us. 25 bucks a person, because me and my buddy share a table. So it's 25 bucks each to rent the table for the one day from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. It's well worth it. We did make our money back for the table, so we weren't down any money from that regard. That's not talking about actually buying stuff afterwards. Anyway, so Garrett, Comic Guy Rules was there, Nerdivision was there, and it was just great to see those guys. Really great to hang out with them for a little bit and chat and stuff. It's always great to kind of meet people from YouTube face to face, especially when there's a couple of guys that live in the same city, which still just kind of boggles my mind that there's 3 of us here that make videos. There's probably more, but yeah. So talked to a bunch of vendors, bought some books. There was a lot of people there that I hadn't seen before, as far as vendors go. And everybody, we had tags this year, lanyards, to kind of signify that you were a vendor. So if you were coming in and out, it would be easy to recognize you. You know that it's a slow convention when 90% of your customers are all wearing the tags. So, I mean, as one vendor said, it was a great convention for buying books, but not a really good convention for selling books, because there was just a lot of downtime. So people were really just kind of wandering around and buying off of other vendors and trading with other vendors. Admission, to answer your question there, G-Don, admission is $5, and then kids under 12 get in for free. And like I said, to book a table is $50 per table, and there was obviously some people who had 2 or 3 tables depending on the size of their business. And I mean, again, it's always the thing that we're in a bit of a different situation. This isn't how we make our living. This is just something we do for fun, 3 times a year that it comes up, you know what I mean? So this is stuff that we have ourselves, and books from our own collection as well as families' collections and that sort of thing. So it's by no means, oh my God, that was such a waste of a day. I didn't make enough money. Whatever we make is whatever we make. And most of the time when we do the con anyway, I know for myself, I end up spending a chunk of the money back on comics. It's just the way that it is. But the thing about this one was there was a lot of really, really great deals to be had. And as the convention went on, especially near the end, there was a table across from us. He all of a sudden was like, hey, all these 6 boxes that are underneath the table here, $1 comic. You know, and this is in like the last 20 minutes of the convention, the last half hour of the convention. So it was me and like 3 other vendors digging through the boxes and pulling up small stacks of stuff. And the guy next door to us had a couple of really good deals. A guy down the hall had a couple of really good deals. And so I ended up buying a few things. From the dollar bin at the end of the day, I managed to get a couple of really, really great things. 3, 4, 5. I have a bunch of these issues, but he had one that I didn't have. It's a Hot Stuff. I think it's from 1977, 1976. So kind of an anthology. I believe. No, I'm wrong about that. It's not Canadian. I thought it was Canadian. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, this is published occasionally by Sal Quartuccio, Brooklyn, New York. And this has some Richard Corbin, Stan Dresser, Herb Arnold, and Tim Kirk doing some art. So yeah, that's issue number 3, which I needed, and it's in beautiful shape for $1. And then these ones I have copies of, but I think this is an upgrade. This is issue number 4, The one that I have, I think, is pretty rough, is pretty beat up, so it'll be good to kind of replace that one. There's a look at the back cover there. And then finally, this one is really beat up, and I do have this one again. I have this already. I was hoping that it was maybe an upgrade, but once I took it out of the back, I don't know if you can see on the back there. It's really, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it really got some water damage or something, so it's really crinkly on the back. Doesn't matter for $1. I'm really not bothered by it whatsoever, but I love this Richard Corbin cover there. This is issue number 5. And then he had some magazines for $2 a pop. And again, just some unbelievable stuff. Like, this convention was great for just finding things that I've never seen at conventions before. For $2, we're looking at Bernie Wrightson, The Lost Frankenstein pages, put out by Apple Press. And it's great. I had a look through this. It's kind of full page illustrations, stuff that didn't make it into the book that was published by Marvel at the time, and then some like preliminary sketches, and just really, really beautifully done stuff. I mean, you know, who doesn't know Bernie Wrightson? So that's amazing. And this is in like mint condition. It's in such nice shape. When I took it out of the bag, I was really, really pleased. And then two that I was saying on Twitter, I've never, ever, ever seen at a convention anywhere. And I'm really excited about it, aside of this artist that I don't really know anything about. This is Mobius, some Blueberry. This is Fort Navajo, Lieutenant Blueberry, and it's English translation. And they are incredible. And again, for $2 a piece, I've never seen these anywhere in town. So I don't know what collection this guy managed to buy or who he bought a collection from, but a hell of a deal for this. So that one, and a second one. This one called Thunder in the West, Lieutenant Blueberry. Really, really fantastic editions. I know Rez is a big fan. I know that I think La Raza has some of these as well too, or one of these. I believe she's shown them off. I'm sure Rez does as well. But yeah, I've never read any of his Western work or seen any of his Western work because I don't think it's written by him. Charlier and Giraud. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure he didn't write it though. I'm pretty sure he just did art. It doesn't really have a breakdown of the credits inside, but I'm pretty sure that's the deal with them. Anyway, very, very cool. Really fantastic. And again, in beautiful shape. A couple of other things I picked up just from various guys. This was a $5 book. And it's a printing that I don't have. It's the 9th printing of Freak Brothers #2. I think I've got 3 different printings of this now. I think there was like 19 printings of this issue or something. So this is the $1 price tag on this one to delineate the printing. And I had a look through it. I was sitting upstairs earlier and kind of read through it. It was just really great to see these stories again. I haven't really read much Freak Brothers in a long time. But I mean, these stories are seared into my memory. As soon as I started reading it, I remembered them panel for panel kind of thing. So that's really nice to have. I couldn't pass this up. There's a guy that I normally go to. I know that if you guys watch Comic Guy Rules, he talks about him as well. I think his name is Bob. And I always end up buying something from him because he's got really good prices. The quality of his books are really, really nice. Like, he's one of those guys. I was talking to a couple other people about him, just so that you know that when you buy a book from him, he's giving you a fair deal, and he's on the up and up. He's not trying to con you. He's not trying to pull a fast one. These are properly graded. They're properly priced. He's the guy that does on his stickers, he tells you what the Overstreet price is and then what he's charging you, which is usually around half of that price. It depends on the size of the book. Like, so I bought 3 books from him, I believe. Yeah, I think so. This one I couldn't pass up. I went to get it. Just 100% based on the cover. I don't know anything about it, but this is Fantastic Tales #1 for, there you go, you can see up there. He's saying that the price guide says 15 bucks, so he charged 8. But that just, I saw that cover, I'm like, there's Doctor Strange right there, like a early version of a Doctor Strange type character. This one from 1958. Sat was sitting at the table and flipping through it, and it looks like a really good read. So yeah, couldn't resist that. What else did I get from him? Oh yeah, here we go. The other 2 books I got from him were Daredevil books, and he's a guy that I normally buy Daredevil books for the same reason. I know that I'm going to get some good quality stuff. So this is issue number 39 of Daredevil for a mere $9. So, and yet another one to add to the ever closing in collection. I think I have now 248 of the first 300. So I'm really getting there. It's this goal that I've set for myself for Daredevil seems to get closer and closer pretty darn quickly. And then most excited about, this is issue number 10. The earliest issue that I have is number 9, but I managed to find number 10 for 20 bucks. And it's in beautiful shape. Again, I had a look through this one when I got back to the table after buying it from him. Really fantastic. Really love having this issue. Yeah, so I mean, I need numbers 1 to 8 are some of the big ones that I need right now, and 168 being another one of the big ones that I need. But fantastic stuff. And then on the Daredevil note, the same guy that I got the Freak Brothers from, he had 2 Daredevil issues for $5 a piece as well. This is number 82. Pretty good condition. You know, you can see the spine. But again, $5, man. Give it to me. Number 82 for $5. And this is number 80, also for a measly $5. So there we go. 2 more crossed off the list. And the guy that was beside me, maybe I'll show those in a minute. No, forget it. I think these were $5 a piece. 2 issues of Plop with some great Wolverton artwork. This is number 8 and number 4 right there. Yeah, I think I've got about 10 of these Plop comics now, which is fantastic. And then the big stack of stuff that I bought, I mentioned it to Dr. Monkeybot and Wednesday Cereal on Twitter, because the 3 of us had talked about it before. I've never seen them, or I've rarely seen them at any sort of convention. And when I do, I usually see them for a little too much money than I'm willing to part with. But I found a whole stack of them, or 2 big stacks of them, actually. So this first stack, the guy had them priced at $2 a piece. It's the Akira series from Epic Comics there. And they're the reprints that are in color on top of it. And the coloring in these is really, really beautiful. Very, very cool. It's a story that I've wanted for a long time. I see the big, heavy black and white editions quite often, but I just never have pulled the trigger on them. I don't know why. I just never have. I love the movie, and I've always wanted to read the series, but for whatever reason, there's always been something else that I've chosen to buy, but not this time at $2 a pop. So there's Akira number 7. I think it went 38 issues or 40 issues. I think it was 38. I can't remember. So there's number 7, number 8. And again, just Really fantastic art. I'm really looking forward to digging into these. That might be one of those things that, read a couple of issues a week. This is a jump all the way to number 18. Number 20. Yeah, $2 a piece is a hell of a score. And that's the thing, like the fact that I don't see them that much, then to find a huge stack, like this stack of them cost me $2 a piece. And then I have another stack that I found from the same guy that I bought the plops from, and he had them for $3 a piece. These are in pretty good condition. The other stack are in like new, they're brand new for $3 a pop. So here's number 21. Number 23, number 24, and number 26. So one of the things was that I bought those ones from one of the vendors. The guy across from us had a couple of the books that my buddy bought because they were doubles of what I already had. The guy next to us had some. This next stack is from the guy that was just sitting beside us. So 3 different vendors, all with Akira books, all of a sudden out of nowhere when I rarely ever see them. Maybe just think that I wonder if there's a new color reprint collection coming out or something. I don't know if that's the case. It might be worth looking into. Either way, I'm really fucking glad to have these. So this next stack were from the guy sitting right beside us, and they were $3 a piece. And even for $3 a piece, it's a hell of a steal. So there's issue number 9, issue number 19. Again, quite a jump. Issue number 27. Super cool looking cover there. Issue number 29. Number 30, killer cover. Really great. Number 31. And finally, number 32. So, what was that? 15 issues, I think. So, kind of creeping up on half of the series in one shot, which is just super damn exciting. I'm really excited to get these. It's going to be one of those things, like, as much as I'd love to wait till I found numbers 1 to 6, I'm not going to be able to wait. I'm probably going to start reading this tonight, and I'll just start at number 6 and figure it out, because I think I have 6, 7, 8, and 9, or 7, 8, and 9, something like that. I've got a few in a row. And I just really am excited to finally read the series, so I probably will just dive right in. What else can I tell you? Yeah, so I mean, as much fun as it always is, I wish that there was a little more foot traffic, but again, I think that what we've already talked about is more than likely the reason. Gonna go back. I've still got all the comics. They're still all priced. Give it another shot when he does one in the summer, whenever that's going to be. I think it's usually March, April, May, probably May or June. I think that maybe he's doing the next one. I'll see him at some point at the flea market. But always a good time regardless, hanging out with my buddy, talking to people coming through. And again, it was just so great to it's always great to see Garrett, because I see him all the time at this convention. But really great to meet Nerdivision as well. The 3 of us, or Garrett and I, have already talked about trying to get out and do some comic hunting together. I contacted Nerdivision, and if you are watching this, just check your latest video. I posted a comment. Feel free to get in touch. We should all just go and hunt comics together. I think that's about it. Nothing really else to tell you. Got in touch. Oh, the other thing that did happen at this convention, I did meet up with Ferd, who I've bought Undergrounds from before. He was away on vacation, so he said, hey, I got your email. I'd love to do a trade. I had the books there with me, so I could show him what I had. He didn't have any of his Undergrounds with him today, unfortunately, because he says I actually haven't bought too many lately. So I'm hoping that that can work out at some point. And I seem to get a sense because him and his buddy were both there. His buddy had come over at one point and we were briefly talking about underground comics, and he was saying how he finds it surprising when he's looking online the prices that people are charging for them. He says they're actually not, like, most of them aren't that difficult to come by, but there are people that are charging crazy prices out of stuff. And I'm just curious. I'm like, can you just do you want to have a look at mine? Like, do you think my prices are reasonable? And he was like, yeah, no, yours are exactly on point, especially like considering what the American kind of dollar value is on some of these books. Like, I think you've got a really good thing going. So that's good to know, because that's a side of this whole conventioning that I want to make sure that I don't want to become that vendor who every time we go to that fucking guy, his books are so expensive, and then people just don't want to come and look through my stuff. Whether or not they buy it or not is beside the point. It's one of those things. I mean, I know how I am as a buyer. If I know a specific vendor overcharges, I just never look at their table, because what's the point? I'm going to find a lot of stuff and just get disappointed because I'm not going to buy it because it's too fucking expensive. So it was good to get a little bit of input from somebody who knows the books and who's been around for a while, just to let me know that I'm not out to lunch as far as my pricing goes. So that was good. Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that I can trade a bunch of those away to Ferd. Keep growing that underground comics collection. Yeah, so with that, that's it. Thank you very much for watching GDon, Comic Brains, and Comic Book Aesthete, if you're still here. And the viewers that popped in and out, thanks a lot for watching. And we'll talk to you real soon. Take it easy.